Welcome, everybody, back to Hiveswap Friendsim. My name is Brodomus. Last time we had Nikki Mula, the powerful Russian wrestler, theater muscular enthusiast. What the hell was it called? Display of muscular theatrist is what she was, a muscular theatrist. This is the last volume, volume 18. There's a new tab here. Friends. What is that? Oh! Let me tell you about... Oh, that's fucking funny. Alright, I don't know what this is. Maybe we'll do a little investigation during a stream. I'm still planning on doing a stream. But we're gonna move on now. I don't know what that was. Sorry for the hold up. We're gonna move on to volume 18 epilogue of... Or no, excuse me. There's an epilogue? Okay, we're on volume 18 of endings many. And then there's an epilogue of hosts excellent. So we get to see fucking Doc Scratch. Alright, that's something... That is something for the future. Now, though, we're gonna be going to Lanque. And I've been very excited for Lanque. Alright. You crash-landed onto a planet called Alternia. You staggered from the wreckage of your ship. You were desperate for information, for provisions, and possibly a bit of medical attention. But most of all, you were desperate for friendship. And boy, did I get it. Is what you could say if you were written by a bunch of hacks who cared about the Aristotelian ideal of narrative unity. Possibly you could make some reference to a circle being complete in a thoughtless and imbecilic manner. But we're all in this together, right? And we've all learned and grown enough to know that there's something deep and dark and absurd brewing beneath the surface. This really isn't about friendship anymore, is it? You've got enough friends. Now you need answers. You need... Oh, god damn it. This was just the insert screen. Okay, so we got Lanque Bombix. Oh, man, look at him. And then we have Barzum and Baisley. Oh, interesting. They change expressions when you highlight over them. Okay. They're named after the Barnum and Bailey's circus, whatever it was. I can't remember the full name of it. But we're doing Lanque today. We're doing the last Jade Blood. Look at him. Oh, I'm excited. That is very loud. Okay. What's next on the docket? Oh, you're really feeling like going completely off the rail. Okay, I am. All right. So it's a good thing the first person to ping you on your palm husk is Lynera. Oh boy, that nutty bitch is exactly the sort of destabilizing influence your life needs right now. I forgot Lynera's voice again. Hello? My friend? Because that's what we are now. Friends. Cool. That's not weird at all. No, that's perfectly I am talking like a normal friend would. Perfectly not a weird way at all to talk to someone. You're really loving this one. You're not sure what it is, but you're positive whatever crackpot caper this loopy troll is about to rope you into is going to be a real humdinger. There's a sense of finality in the air. You can taste it. Oh, boy. So we're going to get real meta with these last ones, right? The ironic thing here would be, like, the most unexpected thing is that these last two ones are completely normal. There's no weird metaphysical, universal, cosmic bullshit that happens. It's just completely normal. Just, you know, some violent trolls here and there, people dying, people laughing, people crying, falling in love, maybe. That'd be the real unexpected twist, right? Lynera does you the courtesy of listening to you say all that shit without getting super put off by how much of a freak you are. Listen up! Oh, that's right, she was a Carla from... Excuse you, get out of there. Down. Sorry, my dog has taken a liking to getting into the cat box, so... So that's right, she was Carla from Fairy Tale. So I was thinking, since us becoming friends has worked out so well, I'm starting to think maybe it'd be a good idea to give making more friends another shot after all, I guess? That's what I was thinking. So there's this party I was invited to. You see, the fellow Jades in my cloister always sneak out to go to these things. You gently suggest to Lynera that she should hurry it the fuck up. Please, can we move it along? Okay. I'm so nervous to go, and I want a friend to come with me, okay? Is that so crazy? No, you don't think that's crazy at all. You think that sounds fantastic, actually. You don't ask for any details because who gives a shit? I just love that it's just like, the MSP readers reach a point where it's like, I mean, fuck it. What kind of bullshit am I gonna get into this time? Am I gonna finally reach the point of astral projecting myself? Fuck it, I already did that with Karikos. I mean, I died, technically. Alright. You show up on the block. We're not going to talk about how you got there or whatever because what a waste of time. You're just there. Lynera's met up with you too. Okay, so we're just getting... So, like, it's not like lazy. It's deliberate. It's interesting. Lynera mentioned there might be dancing, so you decided to really dress up for the occasion. Oh man, you went fucking nuts. You're wearing a cape and shit, but also like fishnets. Maybe a sexy bra if that's your thing. Whatever you happen to dread out of some dumpster or another. Honestly, you can imagine whatever you want here, but no, it's complete bullshit and you look like a total slut. Lynera isn't wearing anything special because we would have had to pay someone to redraw all her sprites. From the looks of this is fucking fantastic. From the looks of it, you're heading over to somebody's hive party. You're rolling up on some kind of joint that, from past experience, you can now surmise is an alien domicile. It's pretty big and maybe belongs to someone on the blue end of the spectrum. Back here again, is this block where all the jade-blooded schoolgirls love to get down and dirty? Oh boy. It hits you like a bucket of ice when you realize whose hive you're walking straight towards this time. This is Ardada's hive. I'm going to see Ardada? Oh, that's just great. Your friend Ardada. Boy, do you love Ardada. Can't wait to see her again. And just witness what other cruelty she's performing. As you approach, you can immediately tell what kind of... Whoa, that's really pushing the boundaries of that box there. As you approach, you can immediately tell what kind of deal they have going on here. You can hear the tunes bumping from all the way down the block, and when you get near enough to see, there are obviously a bunch of teens passed out drunk on the lawn. This is a full-blown frat house rager. Okay. Definitely doesn't seem like Lynera's sort of scene. No, definitely not. That's because it isn't! Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm doing this. You kind of can't either. You're not even in the front door and you can already feel the sweat pouring out of your armpits. Gross. This is going to be so much fun. 4 exclamation points, just because why not? You pass all the smashed lawn teens and go up to knock on the front door. You have to rap on it a few times until the telltale sound of clicking heels faintly reaches your ears. The door opens and you discover that the gracious hostess standing on the other side is none other than your best friend Ardada. Woohoo! Oh boy. She looks surprised to see you for only a moment before her face resolves into a wicked grin. My. Look what the perby's dragged in. Back for more so soon, my sweet. You're not actually sure how much time has passed since you last ran into Ardada. That's true, Bold Ears was kind of a weird, like, nebulous limbo. But it doesn't feel like it can be described at any metric by soon. You've been physically savaged so many times since then, you're not sure what you're blocking out, though. You tell Ardada you really glad to see her, because you totally are. Sure, tell me what I'm feeling. You tell her you weren't expecting her to be hosting a party, though. Oh, I don't know if I'd call it a party. More of a friendly kickback of sorts. Sort of exclusive, really. All the world's finest influencers are here. How exactly did you hear about my little shindig? While I certainly consider you to be one of my finest friends, I don't recall inviting you. You gesture vaguely to Lynera. She doesn't seem to know how to lie and immediately cracks under the pressure. One of the other Jades from my cloister told me to come. His name is Lanque, but I don't think he was invited either. I get the impression we kind of always come out here. Basically, we're crashing, if that's okay? Well, of course. What's an informal soiree without a few entirely uninvited interlopers? Alright, okay, hang on. I can handle, I'm fine being an interloper. I was gonna try to act all indignant, but whatever, man. Lynera doesn't seem to know if she's being sarcastic or not, and you aren't sure if she is either, to be honest. You're like, are you fucking with us? And she's like, ho ho ho, mwahaha, or whatever. Oh, of course not. I just have but one question for you, my dears. Ardada beckons you near. Hi, Ardada. You obey her slavishly. 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 Ugh, slavishly. Then she leans in close to your ear and intones. Do you hereby certify under penalty of law that you are of age to view adult content within your state of legal residence, have acknowledged the contents of this volume's accompanying mature content description, and are comfortable with the prospect of engaging with challenging or otherwise controversial fictional material? Oof, you're too scared. You bet, Chief, tell her to let you in, or oof, you're too scared. Which was the bad one here? I'm gonna try this. Let's see if we can back out here. Oh man, the sound of that is making you quake in your slutty little boots. Controversial fictional material, you say? Damn, it's almost starting to sound like a woman wrote this. Count you out. Ardada clicks her tongue. She reaches, not that kind of click. Not even that click. I can't fucking do it. She reaches for the cup of markers she keeps on a table next to the door and pulls one out. You flinch back as she wields it like a weapon to draw a big blue X on the back of your hand. Here. Now all my fine guests will know we've a delicate little angel on our hands. And then she turns to Lynera. And what about you, my sweet thing? Huh? Oh, I'm not real, so it's cool. I'm not real, so it's cool! Very well, then. Welcome to the bash. Drinks are free, but if you die of poisoning, you're contractually obligated to croak in range of one of my cameras. Toodaloo. Ardata blows you a toxic kiss and saunters off to mingle with her enthusiastic guests. That'd be a badass band name. Toxic Kiss? Man. You and Lynera step past the threshold and have a look around. Lynera is visibly nervous, which is unfortunately a little bit infectious. You ask her where her friend is. She glances around a bit. Oh, I don't know. He's... Oh, over there. Boy, look at all these trolls here. Look at everyone all in attendance. You follow her gaze into the living area of the house. It's a far cry from the side outside. The music's not nearly so bumpin' as you originally thought it was. The whole shebang seems to have a pretty chill teenagers drinking Kool-Aid vibe, apart from the fact that it's definitely not Kool-Aid. Everybody's milling about, chatting amiably. Or amiably, however you want to pronounce it, I guess. You spot a few familiar faces. Diemen flirting with roasting his Frank in the hearth. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Elward leaned casually against the doorframe to the kitchen and talking to a cute girl. Skyla recounting some enrapturing rodeo caper to a group of gathered trolls. It's a real diverse roster of friendly folks. Oh, so I thought that was Elward over there. I didn't see Diemen or Skyla. I don't know how the hell I didn't see Skyla, but I thought that was Elward, but I wasn't sure. You spot who Lynera is pointing to at the center of the parlor's arrangement of couches and armchairs, sat among a group of friends on the floor, the only other jade blood in the room. He's even more impeccably dressed and done up than the rest of the markedly fashion-forward jades you've met. When he catches sight of Lynera, his face lights up, and he rises to make his way over and greet you. Okay, what kind of voice should we give Lanque? I don't know. I truly don't know. Oh, Lynera, you've made it after all. I was starting to think you weren't going to come. Oh, look at him. Surprise! I didn't, not come. I mean, I did come. Hi, I'm here. You cringe! But Lanque seemed otherwise unaffected by Lynera's astonishingly embarrassing display. He turns to you with a warm smile. And who is this? You can't help but get a little flustered when your eyes meet. Yeah. His makeup and stylings might lean to the severe and feminine, but he has a contrastively calming and masculine voice that puts you at ease straight away. So it is kind of masculine. All right. So I know Lanque is a trans character, so I didn't want to do anything too offensive with this. So I guess I'm going to try and do something a bit more masculine, because my voice can tend to be a bit high sometimes. He seems to have quite the opposite effect on Lynera. Before you can answer yourself, she starts blabbering a mile a minute. Oh, this is my friend. I invited him. They're an alien. They're an alien, and I guess I almost murdered them because I was jealous of the friendship. But I didn't. And we're friends now, and I'm starting to work past my self-destructive obsession with her, and they agreed to come with me because I'm socially anxious. I'm afraid of you. And afraid of you! Oh, that's awfully nice of them. Hold on, sorry. I know that was a lot at once. Let me reorganize that statement into a clearer, digestible list of bullet points. You've absolutely no need to do that, Lynera. I've understood your points just fine. Oh, okay. Lanque looks back at you. Please, do. Thank you for helping Lynera feel more comfortable here. Why don't you come and sit with us? Lanque turns and gestures to the other trolls he was speaking with before, a teal-blooded boy and an indigo-blooded girl, neither of whom you recognize. They both have notebooks in their laps. They're lamps. They give you friendly waves. I love this piano music going on. Okay, sounds great. What are we doing? We were just in the middle of a poetry reading. I don't know if you've prepared anything of your own to share, but you might find it relaxing just to listen. Poetry? Lynera's face has gone bright green. Oh, boy. Oh, man, here we go. Oh, why do you think I've written any poetry? I don't know, really. It was merely a suggestion. Have you? Well, maybe. Wait, no! You put a comforting hand on Lynera's shoulder and start the shush-papping, because she is about to fucking explode. Intuiting immediately that she has indeed written plenty of poetry, but is embarrassed by the prospect of sharing any of it. You remind her she's among trusted friends here and has nothing to fear. Oh, I guess you're right. Well then, please come and join us. Lanque leads you back to his group, inviting you to sit down with them in a circle. Lynera goes to deliberate lengths to insert you between herself and Lanque so that you're the one sitting next to him. Why don't we pick it back up where we left off? I was just about to read my latest piece. You say that sounds great. Lanque's two friends close their eyes and take each other's hands. You and Lynera are both plenty surprised when Lanque and the indigo blood sitting next to Lynera try to take yours to close the circle. At your obviously shocked expression, Lanque explains. We find physical contact helps us feel closer on a spiritual level during our poetry sessions. But if you aren't comfortable with it, you're under no obligation. You feel really respected right now, so you and Lynera both assent to join the circle. She even takes the initiative to hold your hand first. Lanque reaches out and takes your fingers gently in his. You don't know what it is, but you can't help yourself from blushing shyly. His hand is soft and warm in yours. Warm? That's interesting, because aren't trolls cold-blooded? I guess maybe jades, if they're supposed to be like rainbow drinkers, maybe they are a bit warmer. I don't know. Maybe it's like the opposite of vampires and human lore. I don't know. Short red nails, immaculately manicured. Then let me begin. This is a short poem I've written in free verse, based on something haunting me as of late, reflecting back on one of my most complicated and passionate past relationships. Forgive me, this might be a bit raw. It is as of yet untitled. Lanque draws a deep breath and closes his eyes. His notebook is open in his lap, and you can see the poem written there in an elegant hand, but he doesn't need to look at it to recite the words. What is the meaning of a memory? A question I oft ponder. Intangible and untraceable by anything but the mind, yet so potent as to leave one sick, as if poisoned or wounded in a literal sense. And what meaning is there in regret and longing? Can my lamentations change the past? Will they move the future? Shall they amount to much more than what unmoors me here and now? If I restrict my world to that but which is before my eyes, to those whom I may touch, to that which I might alter, one would no doubt conclude that thoughts of you are last among what I could consider the matter. And still you haunt me yet, like a scar, like a disease uneager to abate. Who are you, and who am I, after so long without you? I know, I don't know, I won't know. What I do know, but what I know, and what can it even mean to know? No, no, no. Though it vexes me, though so little I vaulted it when it was before me, a thing and a you I could touch and see and know and hate and wonder, revile and worship. Now it and you are a traceless ghost, and I preoccupy myself with nothing but futile tasks of redefinition and reinterpretation and circuitous dwellings that on that which I understand even less now than in the times when my wonderings might have been so easily answered with a question or a bite or a kiss, or even a single word spoken honestly. Pressed though I am to give color to our bond, I look not to onyx nor ash, but that which pulses within our very veins, that is so blindingly jade, hard as the stone for which it is so named. Twisted and pulled, hammered and forged, shaped unnaturally, as if a chain. A stricture within scriptures, a certain so meaningful tincture. Resent you though I must, envy you though I may. Now leagues and leagues stretch between us, and I make peace with not but what I say. You are only that which is within me, my blood and my mind, and that is, at once nothing, and the most elementary definition of everything. You realize you were holding your breath when Lanque finally finishes. The circle falls into meaningful silence, taut as a wire. The tension breaks when his eyes flutter open, tears spilling over his long lashes. You squeeze Lanque's hand gently. He weeps silently and beautifully. Such powerful art. He musters a wan smile as he gazes across the circle at Lynera. Lynera, would you like to read next? Lynera looks stunned. There's moisture gathering in the corner of her eyes. Of course, anyone would be moved by something so emotional and raw. I guess I have a poem I could read. Lynera takes out her planner and opens it, breaking the circle of held hands. She can't recite it from memory like Lanque. When she speaks, her voice is small and timid. This one's called Still. I'm still. I sit still. I do what I'm told. Still. I wonder about the way that I am, and I think, still? I see her every day, and I still miss her. She hugs me, and I still feel cold. I'm surrounded by people, and I'm still alone. I'm still me. I still love her, and I still hate that. Wow, you're really proud of Lynera for opening up like this. She's crying too now. You reach out to take her hand back in yours. The indigo blood beside her comfortingly strokes her shoulder. Sorry, it's not really good and long like yours, Lanque. I'm not really a poet or anything. I just wrote down how I feel. Lynera, it's fine. I thought it was beautiful. Poetry is about expressing yourself. It's not important that it be any set length or sound any certain way. All that matters, if I could read, is that you've spoken your blood pusher. And I think you've accomplished that remarkably. We're all very proud of you. You find yourself drawn into a group hug by Lanque and the other trolls. Lynera is sobbing openly now, and her raw emotion seems to have inspired similar pathos in the others. Before you know it, you feel yourself tearing up too. It feels good to get it all out, but before long, it's becoming clear Lynera is kind of reaching her limit. She pulls back and sniffles out something about wanting to go home. Of course, Lynera, if that's what you need. I'll talk to you back at the cloister. Okay. See to it that she gets back safe, will you? You tell Lanque that of course you will, and take Lynera carefully by the hand to lead her out of the party. She squeezes your fingers back to let you know she appreciates you. You walk back from the party in a comfortable silence for a while. When you glance over at her face, it occurs to you that you've never seen Lynera this happy. Of course, this is literally the second time you've ever seen her, so you guess you don't actually have much free time of reference for what her normal emotional state actually is. This is the third time I've seen her. This is number 3, because I saw her with Wanshi. You really want to encourage her on this path of recovery she's going down and all, so you ask her about, her and Lanque. What? Her and Lanque? What, we're just friends? I mean, it's not like I have a crush on him or anything. I know I've had romantic feelings for a girl before, so it'd be really problematic if I liked a boy now. Oh, you say. You're sorry you didn't know. It's okay, just don't let it happen again. Okay, I'm sorry. Lynera gives a warm smile and reaches out to pull you into a hug. Thank you for helping me. I was really nervous, and I think if it hadn't been for your help, I wouldn't have been able to come at all. But I did, so thanks. It wasn't perfect, but I think I really opened up tonight. I'll see Lanque again. And you, I hope. And in the future, things will be easier, right? You're certain they will. You put a comforting arm around her shoulders and walk her the rest of the way home. You feel like this night really taught you an important lesson. Not everything is about collecting the largest quantity of friends as is humanly possible. Sometimes strengthening your bond with someone you already know can be just as rewarding. So screw you say, to the concept of good endings and bad endings, and narrative railroading. This rope makes you feel heckin' valid, and that's fine by you. Is that the good ending? Or, I mean, the good ending, I guess? I like that. That was really cool. I really liked that one. That was awesome. We're gonna do the other ones. Oh! Do you want to understand? Oh boy. Do I? I do, but I think I'm gonna hit no. Because I want to see what the no one is. It might take you right back to the menu, but you know what? We'll just blaze through. We'll get to this one again, and we'll hit yes again? No. What we're gonna do, we're gonna hit no now. Do the other ending. The one where I guess I agree to the terms and conditions, and then we'll come back to this and see what happens? I guess? Let's hit no. Okay. What the fuck is going on here? Okay. So it's like a good bad ending? What the fuck was that? Okay, alright, push it back to the side. We're okay. Alright, let's get this, let's agree to the terms and conditions. Alright, hi Lynera, okay, hi Ardata, alright, you bet, Chief, tell her to let you in. Oh, that's good to hear. Why don't you come right in then, my dear? I don't want to see you making any little posts online about how my party was too fucking problematic for you, though. Ardata steps back and welcomes you again into her abode with a grandiose gesture. You're very, very excited for Ardata's party and know definitively that you will enjoy absolutely every second of what she has in store for you. I don't like that. Once you've stepped in past the threshold, Ardata blows you a toxic kiss and saunters off to mingle with her enthusiastic guests. Oh, I see. So so now it's packed. Oh, so this is like an entirely different timeline then. Oh. The first thing that hits you once you're in the door is the music. It's a solid wall of bass and reverberates through your body down to your bones. The intense dance track is blasting so loud you can hardly hear yourself think. It has to be this loud to drown out all the shouting coming from the living room. As you apprehensively advance, it becomes quickly clear that Lynera is completely out of her element here. She's a bundle of nerves beside you, practically glued to your hip. When you actually step into the living room, she physically attaches herself to your arm. Oh, wow, this is more than I was expecting. You too. It's a scene of absolute chaos. The living room of the house is filled to the brim with rowdy teens dancing rhythmlessly to the pounding music. The furniture has all been knocked over or otherwise destroyed, and you can make a pretty good guess of what's filling all the red cups you see in everyone's hands. You're about to tell Lynera you wouldn't blame her if she wants to dip, but you can't get the words out before you're being flagged on by a jade-blooded boy who's just muscled his way out of the throng of partygoers with a few of his friends in tow. Lynera, you made it! Oh, the piano's different. Lynera all but flings herself away from your body and freezes like a scared animal as the troll approaches. For all the commotion and ruckus, he's still remarkably well put together. The vigorous dance huddle doesn't seem to have disturbed his sharp makeup or his impeccably coiffed hair. There is a curious red stain down the front of his white shirt, though. He has a slutty-looking indigo-blooded girl on his right arm and an even sluttier-looking teal-blooded boy on his left, though he shakes them off and waves them away by the time he reaches you and Lynera at the entryway to the room. Hi, Lanque. Yeah, I'm here. You watch with amusement as Lynera practically bursts into flame under his gaze, and it only gets worse when he sidles up to her to give her a startlingly intimate embrace. She squeaks and tries to hug him back, but is too timid to actually touch him with her hands. You can see sweat pouring down her face. After a solid 5 seconds that seems to include Lanque smelling Lynera's hair, he pulls back to smile down at Lynera with a heavy gaze. Lynera's face is bright green and her eyes are bugging out of her skull from how flustered she is. But she's not into it, you don't think. It's hard to tell, but you kind of get the impression he'd be dead by now if she weren't. She probably just has knives, like, plastered all over her body, right? Either way, it's awkward. Lucky for Lynera, Lanque either doesn't notice or doesn't care. He settles into a comfortable, for him, posture with his arm casually around Lynera's waist and turns to you. This got weird. Oh, who's this? This is my friend? Yeah! Lanque quirks an eyebrow. You have friends? Oh! Whoa! The question seems to leave Lynera speechless, so Lanque takes the opportunity to look back at you. His eyes rake up and down your body in a way that leaves you feeling distinctly objectified. Oh, aren't you interesting? Is there a reason you look like that? What a question! Whoa, okay! He doesn't explain what that is specifically referring to, and given both your alien status and your state of dress, it could mean any number of things. You might take it as an insult, if not for the way he licks his lips after he says it. He can't seem to pry his eyes off you. You look at Lynera for a cue, but she's too out of it to give you any sort of intelligible sign. So you just explain how you crash-landed on this alien planet an indeterminate amount of time ago, and you don't really know what you're doing or much of anything about anything. The fact that your appearance could be due either to this, or that you're generally a disaster of a being, irrespective of your planetary origin. How fascinating. I've never met an alien before. Well, you have. Lots of times, in fact. Literally everyone and everything here is alien to you. You find your word diarrhea becoming more and more awkward, or your word diarrhea becoming more and more awkward and embarrassing as Lanque's eyes start burning a hole in the center of your chest. There's no need to be so shy. I don't bite until asked. Lanque disconnects himself from Lynera as he rounds on you. It's like he's lost any interest in her existence now that you're in front of him. Lynera looks at you with a completely pathetic expression that readily informs you as to what your response needs to be. You'll be damned if you aren't going to be the best wingman possible, so you definitely ignore Lanque's blatant pass and turn the conversation back to Lynera. You ask Lanque how long he and Lynera have known each other. Lanque raises his eyebrows at the question. Well, I suppose since she was chosen for the cloister, some number of sweeps ago. So they're chosen. Jades are chosen for the cloister. I don't remember, really. It was 2.43 sweeps. Oh, right. Then that many, I guess. Huh, that's a pretty long time, actually. Yeah. Pretty impressive that you managed to go a solid 2.4 of them without saying a single word to me that wasn't circulated to me secondhand from your snide gossiping behind my back. Okay. Wow, talk about whiplash. Lynera's eyes get big like saucers. What? What are you... I don't know what you're talking about. The tone of the conversation has totally morphed from fire to ice in an instant, though neither Lanque's expression nor demeanor have changed much. He slips it in the knives with all the calm composure of a casual statement. What, are you going to pretend you didn't spend the better part of the past 2.5 sweeps complaining about how much I disgusted you? Come now. You do know that everyone is aware you're a nasty little bitch, right, Lynera? Okay! I mean, don't take it the wrong way, I really don't mind. I'm hardly in a position to criticize. I was just curious what caused a sudden change of heart after so long decrying my vain and slatternly lifestyle. Have the impending ordeals finally made the little clock start to tick down in that dry, dusty nook of yours? Did you figure I was the only one who might be loose enough to be willing to clean out the cobwebs before you get shipped off to Space Church and never have the chance again? Just wondering. There's a long, excruciating moment where Lynera says nothing. She just stares up at Lanque beside her with a completely shell-shocked expression. But before you can try to pipe up in Lynera's defense, she bursts into tears. Oh no. When Lynera suddenly turns and makes a mad dash to run out the door and away from the party, you're torn between running after her and giving this jerk a real piece of your mind. Your mind's made up when you look back at Lanque, just in time to catch him rolling his eyes. Hey, you say, that was kind of rude, don't you think? Okay, yeah, whoa, okay. These are two completely different timelines here. Lanque snorts. Me, rude. Are you perhaps attempting to fuck with me? Clearly you haven't spent much time around this bitter pill if you think that was anything short of precisely what she deserves. You concede you maybe don't have full enough grasp on Jade Blood Cloister social dynamics to make a definitive judgment on whether or not Lynera deserved to have been so ruinously owned, but she's your friend, and what good are you if you don't stick up for the people you care about? I have no idea what even got her so upset. Like I said, it's not like I really care what she says about me. But you don't get to spend as much time as she does being such a venomous little snake and act surprised when someone calls you out on it. Then why did you invite her, you ask? It seems needlessly cruel of Lanque to lead her on under false pretenses, if he never intended to be her friend at all. I promise you, I had no such designs. The only reason I even invited her to this thing is that my ex is being a real blood-sucking bitch and no one else wanted to go. I was willing to give her an honest shot, but I've no time for a vicious, slandering nag who can't even admit what she is. I thought it might be interesting to see what that crusty little shrew might be like if you could manage to wrest her bulge free of whatever excruciating knot she's got it tied into, but I guess now we'll never know. Well, this is clearly a conversation you're going to have to Switzerland out of pretty soon. What? You try to explain the historical significance of Switzerland's political neutrality on your home planet. Lanque's eyes glaze over like he's listening to you recite a sports almanac of cricket stats. That's nice. Anyway, since I seem to have scared away my date, why don't you stay a while so you and I can get to know each other a little better? No, that's okay. You seem much more interesting than she is anyway. When did Lanque get up so close to you? Your heart beats a little faster when he smiles at you like that, so poisonous and shamelessly laced with intent. Lynera is definitely not the only one coming off like a snake here. I've less time to waste than most, my dear. Never seen the value in beating around the bush. Well, maybe it'd be socially prudent for you to go after Lynera and make sure she's okay, but it's also not her volume of the Friendsim, so instead of doing that, you're going to stick around and see what the spectacularly prima donna is all about. It's not her volume of the Friendsim. Back to the meta jokes, apparently. I'm sorry I haven't been commenting a whole lot. I got fucking enthralled with this. You had your fucking chance to bail out of the shit so, but that's all that's left to do now is barrel downhill as meteorically as you can manage. Fantastic. Care to dance? Why the fuck not? Fuck it. Lanque laughs pleasantly and reaches out to take you by the hand. The contact gives you a little thrill despite yourself. He's got nice hands, soft and warm and well taken care of. And you know it's going to be one hell of a ride wherever he's taking you. Come with me. Oh boy, howdy. You do. He doesn't lead you straight to the dance floor, though. He takes you around the throng of dancing partygoers over to the kitchen of the house first. You weren't expecting to find a familiar face waiting for you there. Huh. I don't remember Elward's voice at all. Fancy meeting you here. You don't find it that surprising, honestly. You two know each other? You could say that. That's just great. Do you give discounts to friends? I sure fucking don't. You know the price, pretty boy. Pay up. You're a little confused. What is being purchased here exactly? Elward gives you a funny look. You a drone? What? You a cop? Hush. You do as you're told and watches Lanque and Elward carry out their shady transaction. Lanque hands over the credits and receives an opaque little baggie of something in return. Oh, well, you guess you don't really need to see what's in the thing to figure out what it is at this point. As soon as the deal is done, Lanque has his hand out at the small of your back and is deftly guiding you away from the scene of the crime. Is buying drugs a crime here? Who fucking knows? You aren't really well versed about the laws of Alternia, but it honestly doesn't really seem like anybody would give much of a shit about anybody doing drugs out here. You guess the clandestine transactions are just for the aesthetic. That's a fair point. Long's got you back in the shady corner of the party and is pressing one of the tablets he bought into your hand with a sly grin. He expects you to join in. You're like, hold on a minute. Your experiences with alien drugs haven't really been that great, honestly, and you're not sure you're that excited for a repeat performance. Long's immediate response is to sneer. Oh, I see. You're one of those people. What people? What do you mean, you people? Huh? You know, a bit boring, maybe? There are many words that could be used to describe you, but you don't think boring is a remote contender. You're always doing all kinds of unbelievably stupid shit and getting into uncountable, wacky, and life-threatening situations. Is it really that fucking much to ask for there to be one time you don't rush headfirst into doing something you know is going to fuck you up and be totally awful? Long's lips press into a thin, annoyed line. These things aren't cheap, you know. I bought them for you. I made this for you! Well, you didn't ask him to do that, did you? Oh, come on, you're really going to be like this? Yeah, you totally are. Long sighs dramatically. Sigh. Fine. Diemen? No! Diemen? Long casts around the room for the nearest victim and grabs his attention with a hand around his wrist. To your dismay, your sweet, innocent hot dog chum Diemen. Alas, there's nothing you can do to stop him from falling prey to Long's wicked designs. Here, have these. Oh yeah, fucking, what was Diemen's voice? Oh yeah, great. Thanks, I love to put drugs on my wiener. Not once in my life did I ever expect the phrase, oh yeah, I love to put drugs on my wiener, to come out of my own mouth. I didn't even expect to ever read that phrase. What a tragedy. But before you know it, Long has a hold of you again and is dragging you off. Let's just dance. You're not too much of a square to do that, are you? A square? Excuse you, sir. Of course not. Dancing is basically the one thing you actually plan to come here and do, so that's just great. You go along with Long enthusiastically when he pulls you over to the writhing mass of bodies bumping and grinding on the dance floor. He's hot. It sucks. You get down to it, you soon discover that Long has a very interesting dancing style, and by interesting you mean it primarily consists of directly grinding his body against yours in incredibly shameless fashion. But pressed in as you are from all sides by sweaty and inebriated bodies, there's not exactly much room for Troll Gigas to begin with. We can't leave room for Troll Gigas, that's a shame. Long is up on you so close it's hard not to sweat. He has his hands on at your hips, and your face is fixed with sharp eyes. His heavy stare is nearly hypnotic, so blatant and undisguised in his expression. It's clear what he wants, and maybe that's more than you're prepared to give, but when he looks at you like that, it's impossible to look away. You just go with it. Why not? It feels good, and it's not like anyone else is watching. You're surrounded by trolls, boxed in and pouring sweat, and it feels like you're the only two people there. Long draws in, teeth by your ear, and this close, you can hear him easily even over the overwhelming pound of the bass. You have the palest skin I've ever seen. Yeah, you tell him you're literally FFF white, which is like blank. The hexadecimal code for pure white, that's funny. I don't even know hexadecimal. That makes you super racially inoffensive, FYI. You let Long know he can see you any way he wants, which is even more woke than making a decision. That's the whole deliberate point, is that since they are literally blank white, they can be whatever race you want, which is awesome. I've always loved that about Homestuck. Thin as paper, I can see all the way inside of you, all your veins and your red blood. You smell like candy. I probably smell like cherries. I wonder how you taste. Oh, don't. Wow, huh? You say that's like some vampire, that's some shit a vampire would say. Presuming I'm a rainbow drinker would be an awfully reductive and literal reading of my character. I'm just making a blatant sexual pass. Oh, okay. Good thing that's all cleared up. You take this as an opportunity to really let loose, showing off everything you've got in the sexy dance acumen department. Long is a little bewildered. What are you doing? You're like, what aren't I doing? There's a fire on the dance floor and you struck the match. You're just fucking it up in here. Really getting it, breaking it down, bopping and crumping or whatever. You're smashing your ass and everyone around you and getting hot and heavy with those lusty moves. There's a point where Long has to step back and you presume to probably behold your art in all its glory, but it soon becomes clear that it's not your prodigious dancing skills that have given him pause. You follow his startled gaze and see the cause for alarm. Bronya is here, and she looks pissed. Oh, shit. Bronya is still standing in the entryway contending with Ardata, and it looks like she hasn't caught sight of you yet, but Lanque isn't wasting any time. Before you realize what's happening, Lanque has you by the wrist and is hauling you away from the dance floor and off down the hallway. Lanque finds safety in a bedroom, respite block, you remind yourself, when you take stock of the conspicuous absence of any bed and the presence of the revolting-looking slime cocoon in which trolls allegedly spend their repose. You hold each other in a tense and nervous silence pressed against the locked door. What feels like an eternity passes, your breath held. The sound of your blood rushing through your own ears is almost enough to drown out the music. Seconds turn to minutes, and nobody comes to find you. It seems for now you've escaped Bronya's notice. When you turn your head to look back at Lanque, you find he's been staring at you for some time. I haven't been able to take my eyes off you since the moment I first saw you. Yeah, and I noticed. You're just so interesting. You freeze like a hare staring down a snake. Lanque lifts his head to brush a thumb across your cheeks, fingers curling under your skin. You meet his eyes. His pupils are so black. I want to know what it'd be like to kiss you. Lanque's tongue darts out to wet his painted lips. Do you want to kiss me? Whoa! Well, you've already clicked on at least 2 mature content disclaimers to get this far. Why the hell not? Lanque leans in and presses his lips against yours. He kisses much more sweetly than he looks. His lips are soft and wet and taste like blackberries. This beats making out with a couple of greasy teens behind a dumpster, that's for sure. When one of his sharp fangs nicks your bottom lip, you don't even care. But when a drop of your blood beads out onto his invasive tongue, Lanque draws back, just an inch. You taste sharp and dangerous, like a weapon. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Maybe I like being a weapon. It's not a bad thing. Lanque pulls back further. His hand slips from your cheek, and his fingers trail down your neck to rest on your collar, thumb brushing against the thrum of your pulse. Have you ever paled before? I don't know what I was expecting going into this. Lanque shrugs off his jacket and starts unbuttoning his shirt. Whoa, is this really gonna go there? You're like, well, no, you've never done any alien intercourse with a bucket, but it doesn't look like he even has one on him at the moment. That was apparently the wrong thing to say because Lanque's face scrunches up in displeasure. Don't mock me. It's my first time. You figured laughing would constitute mocking him, so you don't, but the look you give him seems to say enough. Us jades who live in the cloisters have been chosen for a very special duty. We're expected to adopt a chaste and ascetic life in service to the continuation of our species. And when we undergo our ordeals and are sent off-world, there's no such thing as sneaking out of the caverns. If we don't do this now, when? My life is nearly over. Will you help me feel alive? But before you can answer, Bronya's voice starts to rise shrill above the heavy music. Oh boy, she was very proper. Lanque! Lanque's hands shoot out at lightning speed to draw you close. Before you can so much as gasp, he presses one of his palms over your mouth to keep you quiet. Oh shit, she's closing from the sound of it. She's getting closer. Lanque! I know you're here! You need to come out and come home right now! It's like Ron's mom in Harry Potter with the, what was it called? Like the Scarlet Screamer thing. Lanque leans in close to your ear. Shh. What will you do? Oh, man. Call it his mom. This has gotten problematic enough. Keep quiet. You want to see where this goes. Oh, man. Hang on. I have to make a tweet. Because, I'm supposed to be streaming in 5 minutes. Because, Lanque's route is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Okay. Alright, they're set up. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's almost a week later, and I'm so sorry. Alright, so we're going to keep quiet. I want to see where this goes. Oh, boy. I want to keep quiet. You keep your mouth shut and wait for Bronya to pass. She only shouts for a little while longer before the sound of her voice fades away. There are too many blocks in this hive for her to be trying to break down the door to everyone, and she didn't look too closely at this one. You've lost her. When it becomes clear Bronya is gone for good, Lanque lets his hand fall away from your lips. You feel him smile against your ear. Where were we? You turn in Lanque's arms and look up into his blazing eyes. How can you alien pale without a bucket? I don't mind doing it without one. Sometimes it can be fun to get a little messy, don't you think? You're like, weren't you just saying this was your first time? Lanque answers you with another kiss. This time he means business. MC-chan! That was fucking incredible! Whew, you go all the way with this super slutty alien and then you slump out on the ground completely wasted. Maybe this all went kind of off the rails, but you have to admit it would have been a real shame if you got through this entire extraterrestrial adventure and never got to smash even a single alien. What would be the fucking point, honestly? This guy really did a whole number on you. You're lying spread eagle on the floor as Long as putting his clothes back on. Man, this is probably your most accomplished friendship to date. You're not quite ready to move just yet, but since you and Long are such good chums now, you figure now is a good time as any to ask for his chitter. Long seems surprised to even hear you speak. Huh? You want to add me on chitter? Yeah, you say, isn't that what friends do? Oh, sorry, I can't. My palm husk is broken right now. Long says while tapping away furiously on his palm husk. He doesn't even look down at you. You're like, but you're using it right now? Long rolls his eyes. I thought you would take the obvious hint. What obvious hint? Long huffs. Look, I was trying to be nice, but you just weren't that good, babe. Oh! I don't often ring the same bell twice, but if I were going to consider it, you'd have to show me a better performance than that. Whoa. Holy shit, that's that, you guess. Your lowest low, your first time banging an alien, you couldn't even satisfy him. A little seed of worthlessness takes root inside of you and germinates so explosively that it fills you up until there's basically nothing left. You die of shame instantly. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, now we need to see what happens when we call Bronya in. Holy shit. That is fucking funny. Alright, let's just blaze through this. Alright, you bet, Chief, let's go. But I'm not gonna smash Long this time. There are gonna be no Jade smashing this time around. Gosh dang, there's so much text. You hear me furiously clacking away? You hear that? I'm double clacking it. I'm hitting both enter keys at once. Well, not at once. I'm alternating. Oh, come on. Okay. Calling his mom. This has gotten problematic enough. You rip Long's hand off your mouth and start yelling for Bronya. What the fuck, dude? Oh, you see his scars? That's awesome. Long tries to scramble away from you to make some sort of last-ditch effort to escape, but it's no use. Bronya hears you and comes running, furious. She hulks the locked door off its hinges before you can even get up to let her in. You duck flying chunks of alien architecture and scuttle off to avoid what you fear might be further alien fists. Lonk! As angry as her voice is, some of the fury goes out of her face the moment her gaze lands on Long's state of partial undress. She reflexively brings a hand up to shield her eyes. What in the world? Put your clothes back on right this moment, young man! Or instant, young man! Lonk freezes where he stands, apparently accepting that he's been caught. There's nowhere left to run if he doesn't intend to fling himself out a window. A sneer uncoils on his face. Oh please, save the purity act. Like this is anything you haven't already seen a dozen times before. Bronya's face goes bright jade. What? What in the world are you implying? I would never! Forget Lynera, you've always been the craziest bitch in the whole cloister. You know you won't actually our Lucis, right? Bronya marches right up to Long and slaps him hard across the face. Long makes an undignified noise. He recoils from the blow. It looks like that really hurt. His face is stinging bright under the handprint. He forces out a strained laugh. My word, Bronya. If you wanted to join us, all you had to do was ask. Damn! You wish you had some popcorn right now. You just kind of sit back and take it all in. Long's invective has its apparent desired effect. Bronya is all but steaming at this point. Hands balled into fists at her sides. You kind of want to say hi to your friend, but she's a little preoccupied, it seems. I am not going to rise to your petty baiting. You know you're in the wrong here. One, we've spoken time and time again about recklessly sneaking out to these parties, and now you're dragging Lynera into your mess. Lynera has told me all about the things you've been saying and doing to her, and it is completely unacceptable, Lonk. 3, you've had more than enough lectures about the way you treat your flushed quadrant partners, and it absolutely needs to stop. You are coming back with me to the cloisters right now. When we're home, we're going to have one last serious talk about this, and if there aren't changes, there are going to be consequences. Eventually, Bronya's overbearing hollering seems to finally break Lonk down. He sighs, shoulders slumped, and rolls his eyes. Fine. Bronya crosses her arms indignantly as she waits for Lonk to finish fixing his clothes. Lonk buttons his shirt, puts back on his jacket and his tie, and then he has to go retrieve his palm husk, which he seems to have discreetly slid over to where you're standing. He casually saunters his way over, and instead of picking up his own device, snatches yours out of your hand. Hey, I've got to go, but let me give you my chitter information. Maybe we can pick up where we left off later, sweetheart. Bronya stomps over to grab Lonk by the ear and drag him away, but not before he's finished putting his chitter contact into your palm husk. He shoves it back into your hand, mouths you a "see you later," and is then fully hauled out of the room. Hypocrite! You need to shut your mouth! And then they're gone. Friendship accomplished, I guess? Oh! Oh! That's a good ending! My fucking outfit! Okay! That's... Hold on, what? That's the good ending? Almost smashing Lanque is the good ending? Do you want to understand? I guess? Of course you do. Your sort... Oh, hello. The box got different. Of course you do. Your sort of creature always does. You're worn out. Last night was... Well, it sure was something. You lived, probably. You learned, definitely. You made choices. You had to. And after all this time, here you still are. So after a day of recuperation from ragers and houses of horror, you're out walking the streets of the place you may as well start calling home. You've changed out of your party gear, opting for your old hoodie standby. It fits the mood you're in. You're not really looking to meet anyone new tonight. Well, like... You wouldn't say no, probably, but you're not jonesing for it. Only a little. It's complicated. After an indeterminate amount of minutes of aimless walking, you look around to see where you've ended up. You seem to have wandered to a dirt pile. Oh, you know this dirt pile. It's Fozzer's corpse field. How did you get here, you wonder? You're pretty sure you were just on the other side of the city with no particular desire to come anywhere near here. It's probably fine, just your deep innate bro-honing skills taking you over your goddamn body. Just little friendship things. You look around for your pal Fozzer, peeking down to a few of the deeper holes. Might as well say hello since you're here and all. Holy shit, that again? Curiosity killed the cat, but you've definitely got more than 9 lives, so you shrug and slide, not gracefully, down into the shiny hole. Fozzer is nowhere to be found, but there is a window down here. It's almost completely unearthed, and it doesn't take much effort to free it the rest of the way. At first you think it might be some cool new trash you could make art with, but when you look closer, you reconsider. There's a whole ass room you can see through the pane of glass laying at your feet. That's weird. Okay, so this is the window thing that they had in Homestuck. Weirdness isn't typically a deterrent for you, but usually there's at least some causational coherence. Doors are in walls, walls are on rooms. You aren't used to finding parlors and ditches. Is there a latch or something? Should you do a polite little knock? There might be friends in there. There might be friends in there. Damn, you can really go for some friends right now. Is there a protocol for approaching ditch window? Allow me to stop you there. I am a timeless being of the void, but even my patience has its limits. Fun is fun, but this frivolous navel-gazing is no longer necessary. Coming from behind the shadow of the narrative text, it's so very hard to see your face. You aren't sure where you are, and it's unsurprisingly a little nerve-wracking. You look over your shoulder at the window you guess you just fucking came on through. The Alternian sky is framed by the edge of your dirt hole, and the knot in your stomach loosens a bit. Hopefully that means this is a two-way portal. You turn to look at your surroundings and, oh, there's someone here. The guy you just heard, you assume. He doesn't look like any of the other aliens you've met. Oh, I'm not an alien. Or, no more than any of us are alien to each other. In fact, nothing is alien to me. The root concept behind that term is alienation, being forced from that which is natural. Nothing is unnatural to me. I look upon all realities as equally inviting and approachable. It's you, my dear, who are out of place. I could see that even if I was not omniscient, which I am. Okay, so not an alien. With no horns or cast sign, though. He's definitely not a troll. Whoever he is, he seems to be white. Just really white and round, and his outfit is admittedly kind of dope. Is the MSPA reader supposed to be like... Is the MSPA reader human even? Or I'm now seeing it side by side now. You do look like Doc Scratch. Looking at him really ramps up your friend thirst. He's just got this quality about him that you've got to get with. You take a step toward him almost without thinking about it. Oh, my apologies. That compulsion has become extraneous. Let me take care of it for you. He snaps his fingers and your knees buckle. The force of the universe presses down on you like G-force. You blink and somehow he's there immediately, arms outstretched to catch you as you fall. He steers you to a chaise lounge, and you drape yourself weakly onto it. Please, have a seat. The emotional transition might be a tad uncomfortable, but I know you've handled worse. You're quite the soldier. Allow me to be the first to say that I'm very pleased with your work. I knew exactly what you were going to do, of course, and most of your work was, in fact, my work. Regardless, congratulations are in order. What is this guy talking about? Your work? You try to parse what he's saying, but your body is still shaking from whatever he just did to you, and it's hard to think in here. You suddenly, sharply, don't feel friendly toward him at all anymore, or toward anyone. The void left by that feeling is a freshly gaping horror. It's like who you thought you were caved in itself, a black hole of personality eating your body up from the inside. You try to pull your shit together. He seems like he means business. There's no time to lose it, no matter if your sense of self is shattering. When you truly reflect on yourself, you surely can't, with any honesty, claim to believe any of this was by your own making. Crash landing on a hostile alien world, surviving the impact, dragging around a half-broken body, and somehow not immediately being eaten by local fauna. Did you learn an alien language by thinking about it very, very hard? Right. Malik said something about that you were speaking perfect Alternian, and it was kind of weird, but you kind of just accepted it? For no good reason, that's your whole deal. Your friends all accepted your quirks. That's what friends do. You say it to convince yourself as much as you to prove it to him. So many trolls, so many fascinating aliens, and all of them wanted to know you. Did you really think you managed that on your own laurels? Were they all drawn to an indefinable something, je ne sais quoi? Well, yeah? You had this whole emotional arc, you got self-confidence, you grew as a person, helped others to grow. The white text guy doesn't make expressions, but you get the feeling he's looking at you pityingly. I find you sweet, honestly I do. I don't intend to cause emotional injury, I'm just telling you the truth. I never lie, you'll find. It isn't like you don't have admirable qualities of your own, of course. You have made quite the valuable vessel for me, and I appreciate that very much. I could not have done it without you. I'm only joking, I absolutely could have done it without you. It is just infinitely more fun to do these things together, is it not? Okay. What things? What did he do? What did you do? You hope you didn't do something that would fuck over all your friends. Though when you try to think about them now, the bonds you felt before come up all twisted. Without the artificial friendship drive he'd given you pushing you forward, you're not even sure what those memories are supposed to feel like. You close your eyes and breathe. You try to remember the way Paula touched your face after you touched hers, her claws trailing down your cheek, how Daisy slept trusting as you kept watch, how Tagora gave you a chance when he saw something in you didn't even see in yourself, how, not that long ago, you got the cheater handle of an extremely friendly Jade Blood boy. Those moments are like the memory of warmth to you now, blurry, cold, and out of reach. Was all that nothing? Your heart is a chasm. Don't worry so much about it. I simply needed some dots connected, some pieces in place for my next move. Choose whatever metaphor suits you. Whatever way you frame it, because of you, everyone will soon be in their right place. Shit, what have you done? Your head starts to spin and you think you might cry, so you pull your hood up over your head to block out the harsh green of the room. You try to imagine it still smells a little like Malik. It doesn't. It doesn't smell like anything really, but you remember what it smelled like at first and you hold on to that. It was real, you tell yourself. Your friends were real and what you felt for them and with them was real too. You're so afraid for them, and as guilty as you feel for craving it, the fear just makes you need those feelings you felt before even more. You're clawing desperately for the euphoria of caring, of being cared for. Who cares if your hand was forced? You felt it and it still matters. You remember how you felt watching Chixie perform, bathed in light and righteous anger, and also how you drunkenly commiserated with her later when, no, that's not right, that didn't happen, except you still remember how hungover you were the next day. Just when you started making sense of things, the whole fucking world shifts under your feet again. You just can't keep up with all this moving real estate in your brain. Ah yes, all the resets. Annoying, but necessary. You were just indescribably bad at keeping yourself alive and in one piece, and you weren't quite as adept at befriending aliens to start out with. My intervention was necessary to keep you on the right path. Time and space mean very little to me, but I had to move quickly, and again, repeatedly. Swipe some incriminating note-taking here, befriend an impressionable young upstart there, anger a collar bear, inspire some bandits, you know how it is. You have to throw the temporal spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. I'm sure if you look back, you will be able to see traces of my deft touch, so a few memories may have slipped through the cracks here and there. Timelines tend to collapse in on each other if you aren't careful. Your ability to mentally withstand such an event, and so often, is a testament to my acumen in choosing you for the task. You even almost caught on a few times, which I must say I was not expecting. You almost listened to the silly little girl who likes to dress up in big coats and cause me trouble, pulled ear. And as always, some bystanders end up caught in the crossfire. The one with the shovel, for instance. I doubt his mind will ever be the same. A pity. You sit up straighter and clench your hands into fists. Over the course of his pompous monologue, you've moved past fear and grief and onto deep, globe-chafing rage. How dare he do this to your mind, to your friends' lives? What was so important that one white orb asshole had to fuck with the destinies of everyone you've grown to care about? There are answers out there and you deserve them, and so you demand them. Adorable. Yikes. You shift on the chaise lounge so as to better hide your famous legs from this creepy round fucker. Oh, calm down. All of you and your adherence to societal expectations and archetypes. Perhaps one day you could just learn to take a compliment. Besides, I was being condescending. So you demand answers. He sighs theatrically. You aren't sure where the noise is coming from. He doesn't have a mouth. How is he even talking? How the fuck does anything work at all? I knew you would, but I find explaining myself incredibly tedious. Suffice it to say, I am a man with many boards and fields of play, and although there are countless ways to move the players around those boards, some are doubtlessly more entertaining than others. You were simply one pawn among many. I won't bore you with the details. Doubtless you are aware of the greater contextual framework of this story. The hell you are? You aren't aware of jack shit. Your head is full of question marks. Oh, of course. How thoughtless of me. See, yet another unfortunate side effect of the limitless conversing with the narratively limited. He tapped a thumb and forefinger to his orb. Perhaps it would suit you better to understand gradually. And when I say gradually, please understand that I mean it. You won't be leaving. But yes, I do believe this will clarify some things for you. This way, please. Oh boy. He opens a door and gestures inside. There's lights coming from in there, but it still gives off the vibe of a dark closet door in an unfamiliar bedroom at 3 a.m. You're afraid, yeah, but you want to understand even more. You stand up and take a step, conscious of the movement of the muscles in your legs. With the rosy sheen of your friendship hypnosis or whatever the fuck he did to you gone, the sensation of moving your own body feels heightened, important, yours. There's probably a version of you that would try to turn him down, or that would fight or run or take a nap on this surprisingly comfortable piece of antique furniture. You even consider rushing back to say goodbye to somebody, anybody at least, but you know there isn't time to click through all of that bullshit. Those tributaries flicker in your mental periphery, so tangible that you can almost see yourself choosing one, but you pull your focus back to your present and look him right in the orb. You just have to trust they'll remember you, because the you've become after this journey, after all this friendship and growth and death and time, that you needs to understand. You owe it to your friends, but even more, you owe it to yourself. You found your river, and you're going to see where it leads. So you follow him. Sit here, please. In the interest of expediency, I will leave you to your own devices while I go deal with an expected but entirely unwanted guest. It shouldn't be too hard to parse out the truth on your own. All you need to do is read a brief webcomic. So he just tells me to go read Homestuck. Is that what he does? Okay. Let me know. I'm gonna stop it there because we're over an hour now. I was supposed to start streaming 15 minutes ago. Hang on. Hang on. It fucking did. Hang on. Let me see if I can add a window capture real quick. I know, sorry, hang on. You're gonna see in a second here. Ta-da! It redirects you to fucking Homestuck. That's awesome. Oh shit, dude. Oh fuck me. All right, here, let's get rid of that. That's fucking hilarious. All right, everybody. Well, holy piss. Okay, so that was a thing. Okay, so going back to Lanque's thing, there's two entirely different things. I like the poetry one. That one was awesome. That one was really sweet and warm and kind, and I loved that one. And then the true Lanque kind of shitty? I mean, he was really mean to Lanera, and like Lanera's kind of crazy, yeah, but man, I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, man, that was really shitty. But the poetry one was nice. That one was nice and calm, and I liked that a lot. That whole thing with Doc Scratch. Okay, now, so I'm sorry if I fucked it up. Let me know if the poetry one is different in any way, I guess, and because I'll go back to that in the stream then. But I still have Barzum and Baisley to do. What the fuck is gonna happen there? Does it lead to the same thing? I don't know. But I'm late for my stream, so I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you liked it, make sure you click the like button down below. Subscribe. There's only one left. This is the second to last episode. Only one to go. Oh boy. And then who the fuck knows what's coming after this? Comment, let me know what you guys think, because a lot of crazy shit just happened in this one. The last what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? We're fucking crazy. I like that it reads up to Homestuck though. And share with your friends. Show them Homestuck. Show them Homestuck. Show them this video, and then show them Homestuck. That's how we do that. We agree to do that. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope to see you next week. Later.